Well, it's September 5th. Me and the boy come out to chase some elk. I was in here the other day. I almost got a shot at a big bull. Right where we're standing was where the blood trail went from the bull I killed in 2019. I shot him right up behind us. He ran down through here and died. There was about 6 bulls in here the other day. I called some hunters right into my lap. I heard them driving in. I was already up on the ridge. They come driving in, slamming their doors. And I was already moving in on these elk. And they come down, the wind was blowing right to the elk. And had that big bull at 80 yards. He knew something wasn't right, so he turned and started walking off. And they come right in on the elk, spooked a bunch of them. There was still a group, and still a group of elk to my right. There's about 20, 30 cows and a big herd bull. They weren't that far. There was only maybe 100 yards. And when I poked my head around the tree and them hunters seen me, I don't know if they got pissed off or what, but early bird gets the worm. I was already in here. And they go stomping out of there, making noise. And oh well, it's all part of hunting. Gotta get up early. Today we got up late. Nobody's up in here. We lucked out today. We're scooting over to the side of these elk. I'm gonna come in from the side. Hopefully the thermals will switch and blow up. If not, we'll be on the side of them and we're gonna scoot right in on them. Make it happen. What do you say? Stay tuned. Bradley's knocked and loaded. We just walked up on a spike right here. That spike trotted. He's right over there. I cow called a couple times to see if he'll come back. But we got something moving in right up here. Now we got something right below us. So in case some of you were wondering, my son is 9 years old. Yes, he is bow hunting elk. He is shooting 48 pounds. He's shooting a heavy grain arrow with 150 grains up front. It's totally legal. He passed his archery proficiency test, and we're trying to get him a bull. This is his 3rd year archery elk hunting. He started when he was 7. This is 3 seasons now. So fingers crossed he gets a bull. Bull is way down there. So what I just did, that spike kept barking at us, so I barked back at him and let out a bugle just to try and put him at ease. You know, a lot of guys think that when you bark like that, it just spooks all the elk out, but if you know what to say back to elk, you can put them at ease and call them right in. So we sat here and called for a few minutes, and this spike bull comes back into 60 yards at the closest. He needed a little bit further to get to 40 yards. My son practiced shooting, out to 100. I've seen him hit targets at 110 yards. No, he does not shoot that far at animals. 40 yards is his max due to his low draw weight and shorter arrows. If this bull would have come into 40 yards, I'm very confident my son would have killed this bull. But we moved to our right, trying to get a better shooting window. As the bull was moving, the wind shifted. The spike ended up smelling us and taking off. I'll throw in a clip here. It'll show the spike here coming up. More times than not, you can call these spikes back in, even raghorns. I've jumped spikes and raghorns numerous times. They blow out of there. A few soft cow calls, some bull calls, make it sound like there's a herd there, make them comfortable. They come walking right back in. And, a spike elk, great eating, and it would be a good archery bull for my son. Yes, he's already killed a raghorn 5-point with a rifle, but anything with a bow is a huge accomplishment, especially being 9 years old. So I told him last year, I said, you shoot the first elk that gives you a great presentable shot. Take that shot, as long as it's a good broadside shot. Don't sit there and wait and try and hold out for a big bull, because you'll spend a lot of time waiting for that perfect one. He's still in the same spot, huh? Oh no, here he comes. On a string. When he goes behind that big pine tree, Brantley, you're gonna have to step to the right. Now you just heard me tell my son, as soon as that bull goes behind that tree, he's gonna have to step to the right. That's always seems to be always the case with elk hunting. You have to move. You cannot. You can sit there and call elk in, but to up your chances, you have to move. That's what I found. That's my experience. I've killed a lot of elk with a bow. I've killed a lot of elk with a rifle. But yeah, I told him as soon as that bull goes behind that big pine tree, he's going to have to take a few steps to his right, because the angle that bull was coming in and the trail that comes up through that draw was 40 yards. And that would have gave him a perfect broadside shot if it had worked out. It did not work out. The bull, I'm almost 100% positive he winded us, because we were in between, or there was trees in between us and the bull when we moved. Just a bad call on my part, Well, I wouldn't say it's a bad call. You have to move. You have to make them decisions, split decisions, and it works out or it don't. In this case, it did not work out, and that's totally fine. Well, that was a call I had to make. We just blew that spike out. He ran over and stopped, but he was coming up right through here. When he got behind them trees, I told Brantley he needed to move down so he could have a 40-yard shot when the spike come through. Because at the angle he was at, he would have been right behind this tree. So moving down here, he could have got a shot right in through there. But the spike busted us. I don't know if he caught our wind or if he seen us move. Hey. What do you think? That's the way it goes, huh? Some things are meant to be. Who knows, maybe you're meant to shoot a big bull. Let's go chase some big bulls, huh? What do you say? Right over there. Go in front of that tree, son. Come on. Come right in front of the tree. So if you're wondering what we're doing right here, there was a grouse that flew up in a tree. grouse hunting's open, you can shoot them with a bow. It's a lot of fun. It gives, especially young kids, more opportunities to harvest game with their bow, build their confidence, and great table fare. Grouse is one of the best game birds I've ever ate in my life. So yeah, we're trying to get him a shot here. It's kind of hard to find a window in there up in a tree, especially for an arrow to skip through there with a game head on there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So anyway, we'll let him take his shot. I need 20 and aim right on him. Good thing it's a grouse and not an elk. Wait. Okay. I think your arrow's over here. Well, I don't know if you'd say he was right or I was right. Because it's right in between where both of us thought it went. Let me see. Show the camera. Randy Newberg would be proud. You don't know who Randy Newberg is? What?
I don't know who Randy Wooden is.
Who the heck? What the? You don't know Randy Newberg?
No. I don't.
That guy will turn off a big 7-point bull just to go shoot at a grouse.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe you should ask him.
I don't know who he is.
You could probably be his best grouse hunting partner. You guys could just screw chasing elk and go shoot grouse. Yeah, every time he's chasing elk, if he sees a grouse, he's shooting at it. Kind of like you.
No, you said, oh, get up here, this is a grouse.
Kid shooting a Mission by Matthews, and he's got a Team Hoyt sticker on it. My father-in-law shoots a Hoyt. Brantley and him are best buds. Yeah, and they always trash talk, saying Hoyt's better than anything. Well, let's go move in on these elk. Since you Randy Newberg'd out on me.
You told me to shoot at it, and you told me to hold right on it, and then look where I hit.
It's too close for you, huh? This kid was smacking targets at 85, 87, and 110 yards at the archery shoot. Not now, we're shooting a lot heavier arrows for him.
Yeah, and I couldn't hit it at 60 yards, I can only hit it at 80 yards.
Yeah.
And
long range, he was smacking it.
Last year, I almost hit a mountain goat at 150 yards, and it hit right under its neck, like right here.
150 yards?
Yeah, remember that goat?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like 20, 30 adults watching him, and they were all shaking their head like, holy cow. He's shooting with the best of them.
And I hit like right here in the dirt.
150 yards is a long shot, especially for only 48 pounds. He's 9 years old, shoots a 48-pound bow. He started bow hunting when he was 7. He shot 41 pounds. Last year he was at about 42 to 44. This year we had him up at 52 pounds, but it was starting to hurt his shoulder, so we took it back down to 48. That's more than enough to kill an elk. And those of you who say it's not enough, I'll prove you wrong. My 9-year-old will prove you wrong. So that's definitely my kid. He tripped and fell on his bow a little bit back there, so I stopped and looked it over, and I went to draw it, so I was drawing it slow just to make sure everything was working good. And he was being a wise ass. He goes, "What, hard to pull back?" That's my kid. This was later that afternoon. We went out for an evening hunt. We covered a lot of ground that evening, and we did not hear one bugle. It's the way it goes with elk hunting. You know, it can be a hit and miss. Sometimes, yeah, I've hit spots that hold elk and never hear a bugle one. You know, they could just be around the next ridge, and it could be a bugle fest. So you just got to keep your feet on the ground and keep moving. Check canyon after canyon until you find them herds. When you find them herds, that's when all the action happens. One thing I like to do when I find a herd and they're bugling and calling on their own, I don't say anything to them. I walk right in as close as I possibly can and just let things happen. You know, when there's nothing talking, I'll walk these old roads like this and I'll bugle into canyons, try and find one elk that'll call back, wants to play, and yeah, make a game plan, move in on them, see what happens. But yeah, this evening we didn't hear any elk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's going to be some more elk hunting coming up. It's elk season, it's hunting season, my favorite time of year. Last year in this spot, I want to say it was right around opening day, we got Brantley on a bull. Got him to 40 yards. He was a decent 6. And ended up running right past the bull. He had cows. And he wouldn't commit. He wouldn't come in. So I said, let's run right at him. We blew right by him. When I looked over to my left, he was standing there about 30, 40 yards. Took off. Just the way it goes. We're going to go up the road, around the corner, bugle. If we don't hear anything, we're going to go back to the truck, go down the road a few miles. Just the way it goes.